Hi, this is Peggy van der Plage from Wargrove. So today I'm joined by Pat Finerty, who's the Chief Strategy Officer of CAARY. Thank you, Pat, for being here.
It's a pleasure. I'm excited.
I'm very, very excited to have you, and thank you really for making yourself available. You know, I know you're back to the office after a bit of some stunt, I guess that's how we say it. And it's
call
very,
it that. I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to get back into the daily fray with CAARY Capital. It's so much fun, but I did have a little setback, a few broken bones, but no permanent damage. So I'm happy to be back.
that's great. And you know, I love, we were speaking off camera, I love the spirit of, you know, let's enjoy every day. So that's great.
That's right.
So I'd love for you to share your professional journey. You've been an expert in technology for many years. I won't say many decades, but I think we can say that. And
Yes.
could you share a bit more on your background, but also why you joined CAARY? It's a great move, but it's also an interesting move.
Well, why don't I start with that second part, because I am so excited about being part of the team at CAARY, and it was really one of the easiest decisions to join this team, because I had heard about CAARY through John, who I have a long relationship with the CEO, John McKinley. We've known each other since the mid-90s when we began our career at Coopers and Lybrand. However, I thought it sounded like a very fascinating idea. The business idea and the work he was doing was interesting. And, you know, I've had a history of working in entrepreneurial environments. I've split my career between, you know, more commercial and entrepreneurial environments. And when John said they needed a little bit of help, I talked to some of the team, and, you know, my thought going in was, I wonder if they can build an effective team at CAARY, because, you know, you can have a great idea, fantastic technology, all the innovation, but if the team doesn't gel, it's difficult to be successful. And the team was already completely connected with each other. It was so clear that everyone was aligned, everyone was excited, the expertise on the team was off the charts, and I was hooked immediately. Meeting the team, it was like, I have to get involved in this. This is exciting. This is happening. This is real. And then as I learned more about the, you know, how the ideas came about and the progress has been made, my excitement just grew. So to me, it went from John, I think he thought he might have me help as an advisor for a short period of time. In no time, I'm like, I want to dive in. I want to be really involved in this exciting journey, because it is that. It's very exciting. It's a fantastic initiative that we're doing here. So you asked me a bit about my background. You know, I spent 7 years working at Coopers and Lybrand and PricewaterhouseCoopers as a management consultant. A fantastic experience of that part of my career. That's where I met John originally, and I did a lot of work in financial services, a lot of strategy work while I was there. So that was a terrific experience for me. And my other sort of enterprise experience, I spent 18 years at SAS Institute, which many will have heard of. They're a world leader in advanced analytics and AI. And so I have a very strong background in data science and advanced analytics. So that, and I was given the opportunity at SAS to take many roles, like country manager roles, sales leadership roles, partnering roles. And it's a wonderful corporate culture there. And so it was a very good experience for me, and I really enjoyed that. I did an extensive amount of work over a decade in Latin America while I was there as well. So that was terrific. But I still have this very strong inclination towards entrepreneurship. I've worked at many other startups before. So I've worked at 4 other software startups. I've run my own business in the UK. I've worked in many startup environments. And so when I've always had that inclination to entrepreneurship and for innovation and for disruption. And so this is why it was a perfect time for me to do that now.
That's a perfect match, actually. And, you know, I'm not so sure keen memories, but when I started working in finance 20 years ago. I had to do some programming on SaaS, which wasn't that user friendly at the time. So I still have PTSD when you pronounce SaaS, but it's certainly a very strong organization. But going back.
Well, Peggy, we share something there. And my first job after university, I was a programmer for the European Space Agency. So I also was a programmer when I first began in the late 80s as well. And so I've avoided programming since then, but I went through that process.
Yeah, and I was in finance, so I can tell you, I technology wasn't my first choice, so I was thrown into that against my will. But that's another story. But one thing I want to mention is the fundraising. So the fundraising for CAARY has been on fire. So actually, you're closing the campaign earlier because it's been doing so well. And today we are at like 3.2 million raised, oversubscribed, 160% of the target. I mean, it's unbelievable. Do you want to say a few words on that?
We are all very excited about the reception we've received out in the marketplace. It's fantastic. We're going to have the resources we need to realize all the vision we have for what we can do in the market, which is amazing. But it's interesting. Even this morning, I am receiving calls, people wanting to invest still, saying, is it too late to invest? I see you're over your limit. Is there a limit for what we can do? How much could we participate? And I'm sending it on to our founders, Jason, and saying, can more people still talk? Of course, Jason will speak to everyone. Yeah. And so that is just, when you are excited and you're doing something innovative like CAARY Capital is, in the back, you're like, are we becoming excited by our own story? But every time we speak to the outside world, to partners, to investors, to the marketplace, they're equally excited. That's part of how we know we're on the track that it's really happening. And so it's wonderful going out with the story, and the excitement comes back like a mirror to you, that asking the questions that we're thinking of. Yes, that is right. That's the opportunity. So it's been an excellent process, and also fascinating in that, as you know, we've really taken an approach of kind of democratizing the access to venture capital. And that's my first time being involved in that sort of process. I'd worked with the traditional venture capital environment in the past, and it has been a really exciting process and a really effective process.
And I have a very biased view, because not only did I invest in CAARY, I invested in front founder of a platform that is managing the race. So, I'm obviously very in love with both stories. Otherwise, I wouldn't be involved, So, but I'm so happy to see that it's been so positive for both sides of the equation. So that's wonderful. And, back to your user validation, not only the investors are excited, but I receive many people who are SMBs, startup owners, saying, okay, well, we're waiting. When are you guys launching? Because it's great. The fundraising has been a marketing campaign as well.
Absolutely. That's so true. There's so many elements of the process that have been positive. One is the relative small amount of time we put into it relative to if we'd been doing a traditional, exactly. Like we needed to put the work in to put our story together. We needed to go through, of course, all the regulatory process we needed to do and have our plans well established, as you would in anything. But exactly. Then this process happens, and we didn't have our CEO spending 80% of his time, and all of the leadership team. We were focused on the business. We're continuing with building CAARY to what it can be when we launch in the fall. And so that efficiency is fantastic. That is great. And as you mentioned, as I'm in the process of recruiting partners to work with our members, I keep getting I'm asking, can you support our future card holders with your great offers in insurance and in other in technology, in office space, and all these areas that will help our members. And they're like, we also are a small business. We're interested in your offering.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe we could use your offering. I'm like, we would love to support you. Yes, of course. Almost every support organization we're working with, they too are small businesses, and they're interested themselves to use the service because they see value, which is a terrific way to engage with the partner ecosystem.
Amazing synergies. But okay, so let's stay on that topic then. Do you want to tell us more about your distribution partnerships?
Sure, absolutely. We believe in partnerships. CAARY Capital is not about inventing everything again. We envision ourselves as a platform that brings together the best-in-class capabilities that meet the unmet needs of the small and medium enterprises of our chosen markets, and we're beginning here in Canada. And so we have so many technology and other partners who have fantastic capabilities, which are being, incorporated into our platform. So that's one part of our partner ecosystem is contribution to the platform, the digital platform that supports credit, that supports spend management, that supports the expense management process, all things that small businesses want. So that's an important part of it. Another element is that we want to bring more value to participants with CAARY Capital. We know there's lots of fantastic services that all small businesses need, whether it's accounting services, insurance services, legal, venture capital, office space, technology, mobility services. All these elements are of value to our members, and we're bringing all those partners to the table to make very aggressive discounted services available to our participants with CAARY Capital. And then the next layer is access to the marketplace. So many of those great organizations, they serve the small, medium enterprise space. How many accounting firms are out there that have 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 small business clients? They assist with advisory, they assist with, taxes and bookkeeping and all these other services. And when they see our platform, they think we could use this. Our clients would die for this as well. And so we don't want to recreate what they do, but we want to enable them to also present our offer to their clients where it makes sense. And so we're signing up these partners who are already doing a fantastic job servicing this part of the marketplace, and they're excited to do so. It doesn't matter if they're a marketing agency, a legal firm, an accounting firm, a venture capital firm, they all service this sector as well. And we're happy to complement them, and work together with them. And so that's the distribution part of our partner ecosystem that we're building at the same time. And it's been a wonderful journey speaking to them because they are so excited they see the value they could present, and they see many of the problems they hear from their clients being solved right in front of their eyes. And so they're equally excited to work together.
Well, and thank you, Pat. And I love that you're talking about VCs because sometimes people don't understand startups, they're SMBs as well, so they have the same need.
Absolutely. And we think of, the VCs, they do all this fantastic work, gathering capital and deploying it to these wonderful ideas. And, who is serving those wonderful startup businesses? They have this money in the bank. They may not have any credit history. Exactly. They are not in a position to put personal guarantees forward. We will look at their business as a business and we'll support them. We want to carry them to where they can grow. We want to support their innovation as much as we want to innovate ourselves, because these small VC funded business of today are giants of tomorrow. We want to be with them on that journey. So yes, the VCs are, I think, a wonderful place that we can collaborate for sure.
Well, and it's I think it's super important as well right now in this recovery stage, after the pandemic as well, to put out there all the possible tools that can help our SMBs that have suffered, so most of them so much during the pandemic. So I think it's also perfect timing with your offering, and some people who thankfully will start new businesses.
They'll start new businesses, and you think about a small business that is still operating now. They have something to get through this, right?
Exactly.
And now they're ready to grow. If someone like CAARY will step up and support them with, with credit, with the platform that can help them with their efficiency and effectiveness, think what they can do over the next 12 months when they've come through this last 12 months. There's so much they can do. And that's who we want to serve. We want to serve that underserved part of the market they're dying for the things that we can offer them. And so we're excited to do that.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Pat. It's such an uplifting conversation,
I'm excited. And thank you so much for not only investing, but joining the team and supporting us, because you bring that same energy, Peggy, is why I love interacting with you, because it's infectious. The positive feeling we have at CAARY, the momentum we have coming to the market, the fundraising, it's also positive, and your positive energy is part of that. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time to share your views. And I'm looking forward to more videos, more installments, and keeping everyone up to speed with what's happening with CAARY.
Wonderful. I look forward to it. We'll do it soon.
Thank you so much, Pat. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.